Hello everyone, it is Michelle from the Fit Files, and today I really wanted to talk to you about meal planning. That is the question that I get asked basically every day. People are always really confused when they start a new program or a new health and fitness sort of regime, how they're going to meal plan and how they're going to get figured out the healthy foods that they want to incorporate into their diet, and then how they're going to kind of plan their day. And that's always my number one tip to people is you have to plan out your foods. I say this all the time. You fail to plan, you plan to fail. It's kind of like that in life, right? If you're not planning out your days, your weeks, your months, your years in some capacity, you're often not going to get the things done that you want to do. And that is always my biggest tip to all my new challengers is we really have to start instilling some new habits every single week that you do over and over again. And then they will just become, routine. For me now, meal planning and prepping a little bit of food is just routine. It's something that I do every week. I don't necessarily take Sunday and do everything, but I certainly sit down and sort of figure out my week of what we're going to eat as a family, or for sure what I'm going to eat for most of the days, most of the meals of that coming week. It just seems to be an easy thing to do on Sundays for me. So first of all, I really am pretty basic. I just start with a piece of paper. Okay, and I just kind of put some columns down it and that's what I do, and a pen. But you could certainly print off an Excel document. You could use something on your phone. MyFitnessPal is really awesome for documenting foods. You could probably get a template somewhere on your app. There's probably zillions of things that you can do for meal planning, but really the pen and paper works really well too. So that's really what I do. I just kind of map out my week and Monday, Tuesday, and I map out the meals. I always incorporate what workouts I'm going to do that day as well. So here, I'm just going to kind of go through it with you how I'm doing it today. So I've got a couple pieces of paper, and normally I would be in my kitchen doing this because my other piece of paper is my grocery list. Okay, so I just do them together. So I know that right now I'm doing the Body Beast program. So I've got my workouts all kind of mapped out here. Tomorrow's chest, Tuesday's legs, Wednesday's back. I've got that all mapped out. So I know what I'm going to do there. Now, a few little tips when you go and you start a new program. Sometimes people are always so concerned, where am I going to find some recipes? What am I going to make every night for supper? Is everyone going to like it? I have young kids. They're not going to like the food and they won't eat it. I'm going to have to make double meals. No, you're not. Okay? No, you're not. First of all, we want to have our family eating healthy food. Okay? Why would we want them eating bad things filled with sodium and salt and processed, and then we eat the healthy stuff? That makes no sense at all. Yeah, it's probably going to be a transition for your family. You're going to start feeding them some things that they maybe won't like at first, but long gone are the days that healthy food has to taste bad. It does not have to taste bad. I have a 5-year-old and a 46-year-old husband, and we all eat the same thing. I don't make separate things for people around here. We eat healthy foods together and they taste good. There's ways of cooking things and preparing things now that they don't have to taste bad. So I really think you need to make a commitment when you first start that you're going to choose recipes and choose dishes that everyone's going to eat. So you're not creating more work for yourself. Second of all, keep it simple. Especially when you first start a new program. So for example, my ladies that are just starting with the 21-day fix, we need to keep this so simple right now, okay? Dumb it right down. You do not need to think of something different to make for every meal for the next 7 days. That is ridiculous. That's crazy. I've been doing this for years, and a lot of my meals, as you're going to see, are exactly the same thing. Okay, so especially for breakfast and snacks, I have about 2 or 3 things that I really like, and I just rotate them all the time. In fact, my breakfast and my afternoon snack and my nighttime snack are exactly the same every single day and have been for years. Honestly, it's crazy. Okay. So that is my biggest tip. My second tip is you're going to want to always combine slow burning foods with fast burning foods. So that would be something like an apple and some almonds. So that's often a snack for me in the morning. Apple is a carbohydrate and it's a fast burning food, okay? And those almonds are a protein and fat, okay? So they're a slow burning food. So when you combine those two things, you're gonna keep yourself full and more satisfied for longer. So I find, especially with my snacks, I really like to combine those really well. Your dinner, breakfast, and lunch are usually combined just automatically. The ones that I really think about are my snacks. Those are my in-between, smaller, caloric servings, and I like to blend those so they keep me satisfied for a couple hours. I really like to space out my meals every 2 to 3 hours. For me, it just means I always have something to look forward to. Honestly, I'm always going to have something to eat, to be truthful. Okay, so let's get at this. So today is Sunday, but I'm going to start tomorrow and move on with my week. For me, my breakfast is always the same. It's always oatmeal, a teaspoon of peanut butter, and a couple eggs. That's just always what I have. It's my favorite meal of the day. Oatmeal, I always add cinnamon and my peanut butter right into it. It's like heavenly. I love it. So that's always what I have for my breakfast. So I can literally go across here and just plug that into every single day. So next we have a snack. As I said, I usually rotate 2 or 3 different snacks. Lots of times I'll have veggies and almonds, apple and almonds. I'll have maybe some egg, another egg and veggies, hummus and veggies. So those are all that combining, okay? That's combining those slow burning foods with fast burning foods. So that's going to keep me full for longer. Now let's go to lunch. Often my lunch is leftover from the dinner before. I always make extra. I either freeze it or now that I'm home every day, I just have it the next day. So tomorrow I'm going to have a busy day, so I know I'm not going to have much time. So I've got some steamed broccoli in the fridge. I'm going to have that, and I'm going to have it with some pre-packaged ground turkey. That is one thing that I prep usually once every 2 weeks. I take a couple pounds of white ground turkey meat and I brown it up. I portion it out. I throw it in my red container and then put it in Ziplocs, and I have that frozen in my fridge so I can always have it. So tomorrow I'm going to have some sweet potato and steamed broccoli and that ground turkey. I'm literally just going to throw it all in a stir fry pan and just toss it all up until it's really nice and warm. I'll probably put some spices in with it, some maybe balsamic vinegar or hot sauce, and that's going to be my lunch. And I'm going to be quite satisfied with that. So I'm going to plug that into my meal plan. My snack in my afternoon is always Shakeology. That is when I am needing food, okay? That is when I'm needing something sweet. I'm needing something like I just feel like I need a treat. So for myself, Shakeology is best then. You need to fiddle around with where you're going to put that in. So in my Shakeology, I always have almond milk. So I know that I need that. I'm out of that. So as I said, I'm usually in my kitchen. So I'm going to write almond milk on my grocery list. Okay, so I'm prepping these 2 things at the same time. Now we're going to move on to supper. I am going to make a shrimp stir fry on Monday night, and we're going to have brown rice. And I know we don't have any brown rice right now, and it's Sunday. I need to go to the grocery store, so I'm going to get all my veggies, and I'm going to get shrimp. So I'm going to write that down here. Shrimp, veggies, rice. Okay, I'm gonna, what I'm gonna do with my shrimp stir fry, I'm gonna cut up fresh veggies, throw some shrimp in, toss it with coconut oil, probably put some Bragg's on it. I love using the Mrs. Dash spices. I've got some of the Flavor God spices, balsamic vinegar. Like there's a lot of ways that you can make a really awesome stir fry without having to use those sauces from the grocery store that have so much sugar in them. And then at night, if you've followed me for a long time, you know that I always have a night snack, and that's always Greek yogurt with peanut butter in it. I mix it up, I put it in the freezer for about 10 minutes, and it tastes like ice cream to me. It is awesome. So there is my first day. I've already, I'm going to put the same oatmeal across the board because that's what I'm going to have every day. My snacks, I'm just going to start filling in and I'm going to rotate them. Apple and almond, veggie and eggs, veggie and hummus. I'm going to rotate them here for my morning snack. I'm going to go to suppers next. I usually fill in my suppers first because then I know what I'm going to have left over for my lunches. So Tuesday night is a really, really busy night for our family. So we always have either a frittata with eggs. I usually just, again, soften up a whole bunch of vegetables in the frying pan, cover it with eggs, and let it sit and put some Parmesan cheese on top of it, and that's our meal. It's quick and easy, or we'll make omelets. So that, if it's a frittata, there's always some left over for my lunch the next day, and I'll have that with a tossed salad, okay? And I'll make my own dressing with a little bit of olive oil, red wine vinegar, and a little bit of mustard. I'll just, toss that up. If you're on the 21 Day Fix, there's some great dressings in the book. The next night, Wednesday, I'm going to plug in. We're going to have chicken with salsa and broccoli and, again, some rice. Easy. Chicken. I find salsa that has no sugar, from the health food section in the grocery store. Roasted broccoli, I just toss it with some coconut oil and some spices, some Mrs. Dash spices, and roast that in the oven, and of course some brown rice. That will be left over for the next day. If there's no broccoli left, that's okay. I always have steamed broccoli in my freezer. I can always have steamed broccoli. If you think that steamed broccoli is really, really gross, some people do. I really like it. I don't mind it at all, but I always put spices with it. So that's what I'm saying. Your food doesn't have to taste bland and yucky. It can taste quite good with the spices that you have. Thursday night, we're going to have turkey burgers, buns. For myself, I'll probably not have the bun. I'll have a salad with it. And again, I'll have that the next day. My afternoon snacks are always Shakeology. I just know that. So that's plugged in across the line. My nighttime snack is always yogurt. I know that. Now, if some night I decide, maybe I want something different, no big deal. I'll plug something different in there. But if you're doing the fix, it'll still pertain to the container counts. I'll still keep on track. If I decide on Wednesday night we don't want chicken, we want, the turkey burgers, then switch it around. No big deal. Okay, so that's how you kind of plan your week. Just keep it really, really simple. Another easy dinner is flank steak on the grill. Throw some olive oil on it and some spices. Grill some asparagus with it, or roast some Brussels sprouts. Those are awesome. Or even just a whole bunch of veggies from your, that are about to go bad. Roast those up with some coconut oil and some spices. It's so super good when you roast your veggies. Now, Saturday night, we're going out. Ding, ding, ding. And I know that I'm going to want to have a glass of wine, right? I'm going to want to have a treat that night. So that day might change a little bit. What I know for sure is if I'm going to have a glass of wine at dinner, I'm going to take away the carbohydrate I would have had at lunch. So I'll take that away. I probably won't have an apple with almonds either. I'll stick to veggies, something green for my snack. So I account for that wine at dinner and maybe a couple bites of dessert. I know that I'm going to splurge a little bit that night. But if I'm out at a restaurant, I'm going to look for the menu online first. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to eat. And to me, I'd rather have maybe a small steak and ask for just some steamed veggies, or ask for a salad with it. Tell them to hold all the fluffy ingredients on the salad. I'll enjoy that, but I'll have a nice glass of wine, maybe two, and I'll have a couple bites of Terry's dessert. That's how I treat myself. There's nothing wrong with having a treat every week when you're on your plan. You should do that, but you have to make sure that you toe the line, especially if you're really going for your goals right now. So that is honestly how I meal plan. If I want a new recipe, if I'm feeling like something different, honestly, what I do is I go to Pinterest and I plug in 21 Day Fix friendly recipes. That is the easiest way for me because they will go into my container counts. So if I think, maybe we'll have lasagna. Maybe we want to have a lasagna. I'll go into the Pinterest and I'll say 21 Day Fix lasagna recipes, and there will be one that comes up for me and the container counts will be there. But my advice is to stay really, really simple. Do meals that just take, chicken, veggies, rice. Make a stir fry. Like, keep things really, really simple for yourself at first. It just makes the whole process a lot easier. Start getting to know some spices. There's just a really, like, to me it doesn't seem like it has much flavor, but it's like a garlic and herb spice from Mrs. Dash. I put that on Delaney's stuff all the time and she loves it. I put that on all of our veggies and she loves them. You kind of have to start fiddling around with some different things that you haven't tried before. You have to open up your mind, and it really becomes quite habitual if you start doing it and you just stay consistent with it. Don't make it complicated, just make it easy. And double up your meals so you have your lunches for the next day. That's super easy. One of my last tips is an easy recipe that I make all the time. You guys know broccoli slaw. You can get it at the grocery store in bags, or the kale Super 7 mix. You can get that. I will take my pre-cooked ground turkey, and I'll take green containers of that Super 7, even spinach I'll throw in there, or the broccoli slaw. I'll put it all in a saute pan. I'll add some coconut oil to soften things up. Add some hot sauce or some spices, balsamic vinegar, and some mustard, whatever you want really, just to get some moisture in there. Saute that up. It's honestly ready in like 5 minutes, and it's so super yummy. I have that often for lunch. If I don't have leftovers from the night before, that will often be my lunch. So I hope that helps. Hope that helps with meal planning this week. Bye, guys.